In this video, we're going to talk about how to find area and perimeter of rectangular complex shapes. This can be a very tricky concept. So during the video, please take some notes. Try some of the examples on your own by pausing the video and then checking with my answers to see if your results match. And rewatch the video as often as you need to have a good understanding of the concepts. In the last video, we talked about how to find all the missing sides of your rectangular complex shape. It is very important that you found these missing sides first in order to find the perimeter. In past lessons, we learned that perimeter is adding all of the outside numbers together. It's like if you put a fence up around this shape, you would want to know how much it is to go around it. To speed things up, I did that step already for you over here. So we're going to just uncover our results right here. It is really wise that as you go through these problems that you move the, or you only put one number in at a time. That really helps for your addition. So as I added the 6, I just put a dot by it. The 5, then I can put a dot by it. That way I know I use every single one of my numbers once. After you add all of your numbers together, your answer that you get is going to be your perimeter. So our perimeter here is 22. The label, since this is only one dimension, it's a straight line, our label is just feet, or whatever unit the measurement was in. So our answer for perimeter is 22 feet. Now, to find the area, we multiply our base times height. Well, in this case, it's a little bit tricky. What we first want to do is find a corner space, and we're going to cut this into at least 2 rectangles. Some shapes may need more. Now, if I walk around this top shape, I am seeing that there's a 5, a 6, a 2, and the 3 feet. Only 2 of these numbers are the full lines. Notice right here is a full side, and that amount is 2 feet. So we are going to be using the 2. That was a side, so now we need a top or a bottom. On the bottom, notice we have where we drew our extra line, so we're not going to use those measurements. Instead, we're going to look at the top. And on the top, that whole line is 6. So we're going to do 2 times 6 to get our answer of 12. It is best to put your answers right inside the box and then circle your answers. This way you can find your areas of each given box. Let's take a look at the bottom one now. I have a 5, but notice 5 keeps going past the line I'm looking at. This amount, I don't actually know, but I could figure it out. Down here, we found this side. We needed to find this side, and this is the whole amount. This one was 3 feet. And the bottom is 3 feet. So we are going to be using 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. And again, we put it right inside the box so that we have the area of each of those boxes. Your last step is just going to be to add those 2 numbers or more, if you have more boxes, together. 9 plus 2 is 11. And 1 plus 1 is 2. So our answer for our area is 21. Now, because it's area, we were finding a square amount. So our label is in square, which can be abbreviated just SQ, and feet, because this one was using feet. Let's take a look at another example. Again, in the last video, we found all of our missing sides of the shape. That's the first thing you want to do. After you find all the sides, it is important to add each one up individually. Now might be a great time to pause the video, try adding all the sides and see if you come up with the perimeter. All right, let's take a look at the work. What you should have done is added each thing together one at a time. If you add each thing together one at a time, you should have came with the result of 34 centimeters. So our answer for the perimeter is 34, and it's going to be cm, or we could write out the word centimeters. Now this box is going to be a little bit more tricky to find the area because we have to find at least two spots that we have to break it apart. Right here, I just made one rectangle. But if you notice over here, this is still not a rectangle. So we need to split that also. So in this case, we made 3 rectangles that we're going to have to find the area of. If I'm looking, I want a base and a height. Notice 9 goes all the way across the bottom, so 9 is not going to be a number for this box right here. The side that's using the whole side is 5 times the whole bottom or top is 4. 5 times 4 is 20. Again, I solved that right within the box. This far one's going to be an easier one to do too. The top says 3, and the whole side here is 6. 3 times 6 is 18, and we're going to put that right inside their box. Now this is the one that's going to be a little bit tricky. This little line right here we found to be 2 centimeters. So we know it's going to be 2 centimeters times an amount. But if you notice over here on both of the sides, we made those lines. So we don't actually have an amount for it right now. But we can find the amount pretty easily. If I look right here, this portion of the line from here to here is 3 centimeters. If the whole line is 6 centimeters, all we have to do is find the difference of what's missing. 6 minus 3 is 3 centimeters. So that missing line is 3 centimeters long, and now we can actually find the area of that space. The last thing we need to do to find our area is to add all of those boxes together. And again, this is a great one to do individually. So we get 26 plus 18 and we get 44, this is square, centimeters. Okay, again, pause the video if you would like to give the area and perimeter a try on your own, and then resume it to see if your answers are correct. After you found all your missing sides, the first thing to do would be to add all of your sides together. Once you add all of your sides together, you would get that the perimeter is 50 meters long. To find area. Now, this might be a question some of you have been wondering. It does not matter if you cut your rectangle here or if you would have cut it here. Whichever way you like better, or whichever way you know you can come up with an answer quicker, is probably the best way to go. I'm going to cut mine like that. So the very first one, if I walk around my shape, here's a whole side, that's 10. And here's a whole side, we found that was 11. Remember, when we're adding with 10 or timesing by tens, all we have to do is put a 0 at the end of the other number. So we get 110 when we multiply 11 times 10. Right here we have 4 times our missing that we found was 4, which equals 16. We then will add these two boxes together. And we come out with 126. Again, this is area. These were squares that we were finding. So it's square, in this case, meters. Let's get rid of that centimeter. And I'm just going to scribble it out for now, make it easier. This last one, most of the time when you're going to get one where it's asking for the shaded part, you're not going to have to find the perimeter. So in this case, it's actually easier than you probably think. The first thing to do is to find the area of this big overall box. We have a 5 by 9. 5 times 9 is 45. So the overall rectangle is 45. This white portion is a 2 by 3, which is 6. So we have an area of 6 and we have an area of 45. Now, our whole shape is not going to be 45 because it's missing this white section. So we need to subtract the white section. Once you subtract it, that's it. You have your answer. So our answer is 39. Again, this was area. We were finding the square portions of it. So it's going to be square inches. Here's another way you can write that. You can write the inches with this little 2. That's an exponent. And that exponent is going with the inches. So it's saying squared of the inches. Please rewatch this video if you are feeling stuck, lost, or need some more support. There will also be some more videos in the resource folder.